Assalamu alaikum, hi everyone. Whenever you start a new Laravel project, these are the packages that comes with Laravel that Laravel is basically telling you that I cannot run without them. However, it is rarely the case that these are the only packages that you need for your project. As your project is growing more and more, you will be adding more packages to your composer.json file, to your project basically. And from experience, I found that there are some packages that if you add them during development, after a while of you started the project, these packages will require you to restructure the whole thing again. The two packages are both from Spatie Laravel Media Library and Laravel Permission. Starting with Laravel Permission, it's a package that you can join it or merge it with the default behavior of Laravel policies, and it is as simple as creating roles and permissions on your database, then granting your user a certain role or giving the user directly certain permission. So if you don't have this package installed on your project, what would you end up with? Writing the policy, which is good. Then, for example, in this view method, you would grant anyone to be able to view this user, anyone authorized to view this user if it is active. If it's not, then check if this user is an admin or not. So only admin can see inactive users. So this is good, but it would be much better if instead of writing this line, you go and write something like this. So you would return if the user can activate user. So if the current logged in user have this permission, whether they are an administrator or an editor, or you specifically selected a certain user to do this activation thing, then all of these users can view this permission and you wouldn't have to change something on your code anymore. So on the front end, I will give you this example that I have done for my projects, which is, as you can see, I have certain roles and each role has selected the permissions. So for example, this is the moderator, it has a certain permissions assigned to it. And then when I go to any user, let's say this user, as you can see that I have selected that it has a certain role and this role has a certain permissions, or it's already granted. I highlighted them in blue as these are already granted. But if I want to give this certain user extra permission that's not part of the role, then I just like click here and this will be added or assigned to this user. And if I want to just revoke it, I just click back again, and this is how convenient it is. Now going to the other package, which is Spatie Media Library. This is like the most important one for me, and you should decide from the beginning whether you need it or not, because if you don't use a library like this and if you don't use their pattern and you start assigning images for each model, like image thumbnail for the user and then a main image for the user, then if you have posts, you will have a field for the thumbnail of the post, a field for each image on the post. That would be very difficult to maintain. So what this library does is that it creates a new table on your database called media, and this will have a polymorphic relation with any model that you want it to be connected with the media library. The media library, it gives you the ability to create collections on your model, and you can add images directly to these collections. You can specify these collections to be a collection actually, or a single image, just a single image. Also, it supports the S3 file system from AWS. The way I use it is that, for example, I have this example of a book. So this book have a sample and the file itself. There is the cover. Each of these three are is a single file, and I have a photos which is like a collection. It's just a collection. Now, for each one of these, I have registered conversions. So I have a WebP picture. It creates for you the WebP format for the picture. Then it creates. I use it to create a medium and thumbnail with each with a different width and height. But this out of the box conversion to WebP is very helpful for the SEO, and for the speed of your website. So if you don't start right away with this package in your project, and after some time, it will be very difficult to move to this package, because it would mean that you have to migrate all the images from different tables to Spatie Media Library. If you are aware of any other packages that are critical, please let me know.